Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here, and today we are going to be playing probably 30 minutes or so live play here on GG Poker, 25 an hour Russian cash, and then we're going to spend the rest of the video going through my results last week. There's some good news, bad news in there. Mostly good news, but the bad news is not good. It's not stuff I'm proud of. So you might want to stick around to the end of the video for that. But for now, we're just going to play maybe half an half an hour or so of this because I haven't got around to mark enhanced review. Well, the problem with that mark enhanced review is a lot of them are just boring coolers, and yeah, so I haven't got around to mark enhanced review this week. So we're just going to give you guys some 30 minutes of live play, so you got some hands to watch, and then we'll go ahead and dive into Hold'em Manager and look at what's been going on for me in the last week. My screen name is blocked out because no one knows who I am on GG, and I'd prefer it to stay that way, if I'm being completely honest. You don't need to know my screen name, no one needs to know it. It's not going to change anything in terms of your enjoyment of the content, and only my closest confidants who I share hands with or do review sessions with will know my screen name. Hopefully it stays that way. Be 3-betting the ace jack if this fucker ever gets around to reconnecting. King 9 suited. Let that go. Then we're going to 3-bet the ace jack suited. Jack 6 suited, sorry. The 8-7, flop a pair. Checking. I'm going to check back this Jack 6 on the flop. We could bet, I guess, but we don't have a 3-street hand. It'd be a bit disappointing if an overcard comes up and he starts betting, but I think checking back's the right play. Turn trips, which is nice. King Jack offsuit. Let out position. Multi-way, we're just not going to want to continue with that too often. We're going to want to c-bet our ace jack here at high frequency on a pretty dry disconnected board. Call when he leads a turn. I'm going to check for the 8-7 down here. Now, when he doesn't bet the river, we're just going to bet pretty big. Hope he has something he can call with. Giving up on this turn with the ace jack on table 1. Not really sure what this guy can call with, but maybe he just looks it up with any pair. We 3-bet pre, he called. He led the turn after we checked back. I mean, hopefully he just looks up with any, maybe even ace high sometimes. Does look over with ace. I mean, his call pre. I mean, ace 5 offsuit. Bin it, mate. Just bin it, mate. It's ace 5 offsuit. Ace 5 suited. I'm going to 3-bet that on the button. Calls, we pick ourselves up a top pair that we're not in love with, of course. No reason to see by this board, in my opinion. I mean, he's just not going to fold a better hand. He's going to raise it with some draws, raise it with some air. It's not a pot. It's already too big for our hand, probably. We don't want it getting any bigger at the moment. We do call the turn if he leads, probably then just fold the river. If he double barrels, see, we have to call the turn if he leads, I think. And then if he bets and then bets the river, we probably just have a pretty easy fold. And if he's bluffing us, then more power to him. He does bet, and he bets pretty big. Not in love with this. Not in love with it. He can absolutely have pocket sevens through fucking queens here and do this. So really, really not in love with the spot. But we do have a top pair. We do have a good shot, and we are a little bit under repped, I guess. So we just call and then plan to fold any river. It does give us license, does give him license to bluff us here because we're just not going to be able to call very often. But I don't think we can 3-bet this hand, check back flop, and then just fold turn to 1-bet. And he bets small, and I'm just not going to spew. The temptation here is to just say, right, you don't have anything really good. I'm going to raise. I did notice we got a walk down here with aces, by the way. Wasn't impressed with that. Yeah, we're just going to fold here now. Didn't 3-bet versus middle position with the ace jack off. Not a particularly attractive 3-bet in hand versus middle position. In my opinion, if you don't get the fold pre-flop, then you're just left in no man's land a lot. He does check back. We're just going to bet 2 streets now. And we're just going to have a lot more of this board than he is. We're just going to bet twice. And if he's like slow played a hand on the flop, if he's like checking back aces, kings, queens, etc., and wants to call twice, then good for him. He's just going to win a pot. Multi-way. We are not going to be c-betting this board. Just giving up. We're done with it. King 10 offsuit. I think we're going to 3-bet against someone with those stats. Pretty loose aggro. Wouldn't be a standard 3-bet for me, the King 10 off, but against people who are playing like 29, 20 something, and they're opening the cut off, we're just going to 3-bet them with pretty wide, pretty crummy ranges because we just don't want them stealing my button all the time. It's checked twice to us now. I'm actually going to go with an overbet here on the turn. I think when it checks twice, they're just not going to be very strong, but they may be calling smaller bets. You know, if we just bet like half pot or something there, they might just find a reason to stick around. And I would be bombing the river too. Wouldn't just be an overbet turn and I'm done with it. I probably would just double barrel there. Pretty big sizes against that against both their lines. How often is this guy? Oh no, it's a 3-bet. Ignore me. Right, just need to fold. Thought he was. It doesn't matter what I thought. Excuse me. Not c-betting this board. Are we squeezing or calling? I think we're just calling. We're getting a pretty reasonable price. Pretty shitty flop. Good shot, I guess. I think again now he's going to go with a big bet on this turn and big bet river when he doesn't lead the turn. I think he's probably in 1 pair land at best. He's a call here with the King 9. C-bet flop, give up if he continues. This is checked through. Again, we're just going to go with a pretty big bet with our gut shot now, and we're going to follow through on the river. His check raised us. Good for him. He's going to fold. In these spots, I've noticed in these like Russian cash pools, pretty fucking nitty post flop, and that the people either want to play massive pots or tiny pots. So quite often now, when I'm just seeing like flop weakness, I'm just really getting after it. If people once players give up the initiative, I'm getting after it quite a lot, and it's been my red line's been pretty good compared to my usual red line in speed poker. I mean, obviously it's not the same for everybody. Everyone's different, but by and large, I think these games are very nitty and very soft. Like they're not tough pools to play in. They are very nitty anyway. I'll get back to we'll talk about that more at the end of the video. We've got these queens here. And I'm going to go for a check raise. Try to get as much money in on the street as I can. Wow, he goes for the full pot size bet. I mean, if he's got us beat, good for him. He's just going to stack us now. I mean, we only lose sets, don't we? And slow played over pairs. If he's got one of them, good for him. He's got the flush draw. I mean, that insurance thing, just no thank you. We want to run it twice. I'll always run it twice with somebody until I ask to run it twice, and then they don't. I mean, if that happens, I've got notes on people. Maybe it's pretty fucking childish of me, But like the ones that refuse to run it twice, I just have put a note on them. Doesn't run it twice because if they ever ask me to run it twice, I will extend them the same courtesy of fucking them off. What's this guy's stats? 40-21. We're going to go with the check raise here. And again, if he's got us beat, then good for him. Going to fold the sevens. And we're just going to blast this turn. So again, we only lose to sets here, really. The occasional two, king 7, king 9. Well, there's lots of king X's and he's a pretty fishy looking player. And again, if we're beat, we're beat. We just have to go broke. That is an absolutely disgraceful river. That river is a fucking disgrace, and I rarely know what to do in these spots because I'm conflicted. You know, on one case, all the flush draws have missed a do we check call. Or in the other case, all king X now beats me, so do we check fold. There's lots of other stuff missed too. Jack 10, Jack Queen. I think we probably just have a check call here, but really fucking hate it. I'm glad he's bet that size because at least we don't go for our full stack. We are going to call here and lose, I guess. Wow. Never mind. What a grim river. But that's what we can. Oh, I missed him. We definitely have tagged him green. That's what we could have done. Glad he didn't go for the full stack jam there because he probably would have been paid. King Queen suited. It's just too strong to fold. So I'm just going to have to call. It's a pretty crummy flop. It bets real small, which is just completely standard these days. I think with a good shot here, we're going to just call once and then see if he slows down at all. See if he maybe gives us a chance to steal the pot later in the hand. If he bets here, it's just trivial then. It's just a fold. I think he's just going to be range betting there a lot. I think we're going to start this with like a smallish bet. Because I think we're going to get a decent chunk of folds from his like auto C bets. And if he does call, then maybe shove river. Because I doubt he does this. I don't think he goes C bet small, check with like the nutted parts of his range. And he just folds now. Happy enough with that. Shroom the river. Used to watch that guy a lot back in the day. Wow. Got a raise and a 3-bet. Calls. Get the Queen Queen X flop. What I'm going to do here with our kings. I'm going to guess we want to do decent amount of checking on this board. Guess I'm just going to keep checking and then maybe value bet river. You can have like a lot of 10s, jacks, 9s and stuff here that we're maybe only going to get one street from. He bets. We have a very easy call. Not too asked about flushes getting there. There's so few flushes. Mostly worried about pocket 8s, Queen X, slow played aces. It's not a nice spot. There's a good chance he's just going to stack us here, because if he shoves, we just have a call. Good chance he's just going to fill us. And he just has the ace-10. Nice result for us. Got a confession to make about Simon Stax. If you ever watch this, Simon, I'm really sorry. It was me who slow rolled you last night on GG with the aces. You took it pretty badly, and if it makes you feel any better, which it won't, you probably hate me. I did feel somewhat guilty about it, but I just fucking love the slow roll. I just love the slow roll too much. Love the slow roll too much. In fact, next time you're streaming, I'm gonna come along and make a donation to salve myself of my guilt. I just can't help slow rolling. I slow roll my fucking mother. So I'm definitely going to slow roll some fucker from the other side of the world when they're streaming. It's just too much of a good opportunity. And then I did go in your chat later and then like show the clip and say that was fucking brutal. I was just in cunt mode. Do apologise, sir. I was firmly in cunt mode. So yeah, it was me. If you ever watch this, please, it's a genuine apology because you took it badly and I didn't feel good about it. But the other side of me thought it was really fucking funny. So yeah, trust me. Next time you're streaming, I will pop along. And I will make amends for my misdemeanor. Giving up with the king queen here. I think he's gonna have a lot of ace highs that aren't gonna want to fold. He's gonna have a lot of pocket pairs that aren't gonna want to fold. So Simon Stax knows what my username is now too. By the way, if you do enjoy this kind of content, do go ahead and find Simon Stax on Twitch. If you search for Simon Stax, as much as I slow rolled him, I'd really enjoy watching his streams. I watched last night and I was enjoying it. It was a good stream. He's a good streamer. Yes, good YouTube content too. If you like my stuff, you'll like him. So do go and give Simon Stax a follow on all the different media outlets. 8-7 suited. Guess we're going to 3-bet this hand on the button. Pocket sixes is missed. We're going to fold. 8-7 suited flops a pair. It's a board that I'm not going to be c-betting at very high frequency. We're not going to be c-betting it with this hand. We are going to be calling. Turn the 6. Looking absolutely delightful. Delightful turn of events. I mean, my raise should look like the purest of bullshit here, because like, what value do I really have on this turn that wants to raise? So we are going to raise. Just going to shove rivers unless he comes over the top now. I think he can have a lot of, well, I was about to say he can have a lot of like sets and things that takes that line, but not when he snap folds, he doesn't. Clearly just had like some kind of either weak made hand or just total bullshit. I probably should have done something with this hand. I was auto-parted my way through this hand. Not calling that squeeze. Yeah, definitely should have done something with the 6-5. When he checks back flop, checks back turn, we don't just check river. Naughty Reg. Naughty Reg wasn't paying attention, really. I mean, that happens enough when I'm 4-tabling without recording. When I'm recording too, it's just going to happen a lot, and just going to have to deal with it. Call me shit, think of shit. Don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. If I cared what people thought about my play, I wouldn't make videos. I care about what people think about my like general levels of integrity and my character. But I really don't care about people thinking I'm shit or whatever at poker. Queen 10. Yeah, I don't really like just flatting many hands. I'll basically flat to set mine, and that's it. I don't like flatting other stuff. We get the code 4-bet. And then the jam. So we're just dead in 2 spots. Oldie woldy. Look what I'm doing with my fucking sweets. There they are. G-Man, he's a very high volume player. He's usually up there on the rake races. 9-7 suited. I think we're going to 3-bet. We're definitely going to fold. Oh, that is something I want to talk about again later in the video, because it's not a fold I've always been making in the last week. Pocket tens against someone who's on the looks like they're on the more loose aggressive side of the spectrum. We're going to 3-bet versus they're under the gun. Against someone with much tighter stacks, I would just have called there. I think against someone who's this tight, we're just going to use this hand to triple. We had like backdoor everything on the flop. So we're just going to use this hand as our triple barrel bluff. And if he has it, then good for him. And I don't know what, I guess I'm trying to make him fold a queen here. He's never folding a king, of course. He does fold. This guy doesn't c-bet this flop. I guess I'm going to check again. Because we do have some showdown value. Not very much showdown value, but we have showdown value against his checkbacks. Like that. Showdown value against his checkbacks like that exact hand. We did win that hand, didn't we? I wasn't paying attention. It's 10. I'm not going to c-bet these sevens multi-way. I don't know. In fact, no, we called the raise, didn't we? This guy's donking on this board. I don't like that. We're just going to call with all our backdoors, which we hit one. Not going to bet here. Don't expect most of his donking range to then check fold this turn. You can just have like a queen here that donks a flop and then checks. Don't want to get raised. Don't think he's going to fold a better hand. Just try and realize. And he blocks the river. I think bluffing here now would just be suicidal. It looks like he's got a queen to me. And there's no value here. It has some small backdoor potential, so we're just going to c-bet and try and take it down. It doesn't work. He snap calls, and we're just giving up. Still just giving up. Don't expect this guy to fold a jack. Maybe he doesn't even fold a 4. Probably going to double barrel this board and then give up. because he can obviously like check call flops with pocket pairs, etc. If he check calls a turn, then he's got at least a jack, you would imagine. Now we're just giving up. Ace 10. He was never folding that hand. Never going to fold it. Ace 9. This guy attempts to steal decent frequency, 70%. So we'll just 3-bet, try and take it down pre. Easy 4 to a 4-bet. Calls with lob and ace. My line here is going to be check back, call turn, probably fold river. That's just going to be a fold version under the gun. Ace queen. I guess we just 4-bet fold it. What size was that, by the way? Didn't seem good to me. And easy call on this river. King Jack, happy days. Queen 8 is just going to be a complete give up on this board. Giving up completely. King 5 deuce. C-bet. Ace 7 suited with all that backdoors, but this guy doesn't play full stack. It looks pretty tight. He's going to call, try and hit a turn that is attractive. We do. Kind of looks like he's shaping up to be a nit, so we're not going to 4-bet him. We're just going to call. This turn card's interesting. Easy call there. Don't want to raise against this type of player. He's going to have too many strong hands. He's double barreling. We're just calling down, I guess. He snap bets a river. I mean, he probably just has ace king here. Don't think he has much 5x. Probably just has ace king. Just check folding here with the ace 7. Played this hand pretty mediocrely, I think. Expect to lose a lot here, but we can't fold. Ace 10, we win. Happy days. So that's it. We're going to sit out next hand and we're going to move on to the looking at what happened last week for me. Fold, 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 fold. So there we go. Let's have a look at Holder Manager. So we're starting with the graph for the month, just on GG for now. I've played other places, but we just look at GG for now. Then we'll look at the week as a whole. This is pretty much all last week. As you can see, my volume was off the fucking charts for my standards. We played what, like 22,000 hands, 23,000 hands, something like that. Results remarkable. I mean, that's just pretty phenomenal in the terms of the results. Couldn't be happier with those. When you put the rate back on top, we know we had basically a well, that's can I just get it on there at the end? We had a $661 week. Fucking remarkable. Absolutely delighted with that. Red line, pretty good. I'm not going to complain of that. Just losing 4 buy-ins red line in 22,000 hands, which for me is fucking fantastic. This bit's not so fantastic. Look how fucking well we're running over EV. It's fucking phenomenal. Um, it's absurd. No man alive should run that far above EV over like that sample size, in my opinion. Um, I'm not going to be beat myself up too much about it because even if we just look at the orange line, it wouldn't have been a terrible week. We still would have made $200 plus like $100 rate back. So it would have been a good week if we just ran at EV. So I'm pretty pleased. But to be honest with you, we're not going to look at the hands. I played some spectacularly terrible hands. We had a couple of sharp downswings where I just didn't play at all well. And there's been some mental game issues. And I used to fucking love my mental game, but I've got to be honest, at the minute I don't like it. I get tilted sometimes and then just play fucking rubbish for really short spells like that, bosh, and just like undo some good work. That's at 450. That's like in a like almost a 5 buy-in downswing in literally 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. It's really bad and it's happening. It's happening too often. If we go on to look at like, no, that's not what I wanted. That's just fucking party poker on its own. We want Reggie, don't we? We look at the week as a whole. Is it going to load? There's like you look at. There's been like a few sharpish downs where we've just lost 2 or 3 buy-ins in a row. There. It's not good enough. And I was watching a streamer through the week, and they were talking about how often they just like lose back to back hands, and it ruins their sessions. And to be honest with you, I wasn't in love with like their attitude towards it because they were just like, oh, it's fucking, it's sick, it's this, it's that, it's the other. Most of the time, when we lose like 4 or 5 buy-ins or 3 or 4 buy-ins in short order, we've done something wrong. We haven't played well. We've made mistakes. And I think you've got to take ownership of that. And I certainly am going to want for my part. Most of my sharp downswings are just me playing shit. Maybe the first one isn't shit. Maybe the first one was just a cooler. Or maybe I haven't played the hand great. But then I'll follow it up by playing badly for the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And it just undoes an awful lot of good work. There's 2 or 3 downswings in there that account for maybe $250 to $300, where maybe I only need to lose $100, and that's not good enough. I'm supposed to be playing this game now for like maybe 75% of my living, and I can't just afford to keep spunking off $75 with tilt 3 times a week. Can't be done. It's not good enough. It's fucking pathetic. It's childish, and I need to do much better. Without question, I am winning these games. I'm winning them significantly. But it could be so much better. If we look at like my cash results by stakes for the week, that my all in EV is just like 1.83 big blinds, and that's because I'll be getting it in break even spots or worse a lot of the time, and then either getting there or holding. And a lot of my all ins, they're not good all ins. It's when my opponent's repping a pretty strong hand and I have a pretty marginal or mediocre hand. Occasionally, there's just been some absolute rank fucking spew in there. I remember a hand from last night where I think I've been 4-bet 3 or 4 times in the space of 5 minutes. And I get with different players, not the same player, different players. And then it happened again. I was like, "Fuck you!" And I think I called a raise with like 8-6 of diamonds, something like that. And I flopped pretty well. I flopped like a pair and a gut shot with the backdoor flush draw. He checks. I go all in for 2 export. He snaps me with aces. Then I get there. Fucking shit. Just fall to the fucking 3-bet reg. I mean, once the flop comes down, I guess with the equity you've got, I guess we just have to go with our hand. But I shouldn't be in the spot, and it happens too often when I just get frustrated. If we look at like my overall fold to 3-bet, where we at here, pretty high, 64%. And I think in these pools that's pretty good. You don't want to be defending too often versus 3-bets. But when the wheels fall off for me, they do fucking fall off quite spectacularly, and it shouldn't happen. And that's just a product of burning out, getting frustrated, etc. If I was just one tabling or something like that, for 2 or 3 hours a day, it would never happen. My mental game would be exceptional, but I also wouldn't make enough money. I can't make enough money just one tabling 25 and L at 250 hands an hour for say 30 hours a week. I'm not going to make enough money doing that. I'm going to maybe only play 7.5, 8,000 hands a week, and even if my win rate was, let's say, 5 or 6 bigs 100 doing that, which it probably would be, that I'm going to be averaging $100 to $150 a week. That's not enough. So I need to be higher volume, but I need to get a big grip on at my mental game, because at the moment it's letting me down. I'm getting away with it. I'm really getting away with it. I mean, over the course of the year, let's have a look. Did we change this to year? Still going pretty well. Up $1,200, up whatever, 760 in all in EV. When you add my rate back on that, it's okay, but I just know it can be so much fucking better. If we look at my all in EV for the year in terms of big blinds per 100, and this year it is 3.49, which again, most people, if they were beating this game for 3.5 bigs 100, it's the content sales were doing pretty well, and I do too. But given how many mistakes I've been making, and I mean, I've without question, there's no doubt in my mind, I will have absolutely punted off for maybe $500 this month in spots where I just shouldn't be fucking doing it. Sometimes I've got lucky. That's why that's at that. Now this could easily be down at like 1.5. So there's a lot of work I can do on my game. I think, like, I was just talking to a friend of the channel earlier who I'm just doing a little bit of work with. He's asked me for some help with his game, and you've got to take account of these things. You've got to be honest. And I've lost my train of fucking thought now. But yeah, I can't remember what I was going to fucking say. What was I going to say? I don't remember what I was going to say. But basically, yeah, I need to do a lot better with mental game, because I think this number should be at 5 or 6. If that's at 5 or 6, well, let's just say 5. I think 5 is reasonable. And I'm getting the volume I'm getting with the rate back I'm getting. That's me probably earning $15 to $16 an hour, which is what, about 11 quid an hour, tax free, and I can easily play 100 plus hours a month. So that's like that's a living. It's £1,000 a month, tax free in my ass pocket, plus my care work. It's as much as I could expect to earn if I had a proper job. So there's no doubt in my mind I am very capable of doing this and supporting myself. But what I can't do, I can't be going through the mental game swings that I've been going through so far this year. With like 87,000 hands, really happy with my volume, happy enough with my results. But I can't keep punting the way I've been punting. I can't keep just spewing off. Can't keep tilting the way I've been tilting. I say it happens maybe. Oh, that's what I was going to say when I was talking to Anton. 85% of the time, I'm happy with my game and it's doing okay. But the 15% of the time when I'm not happy with it, it's really hurting me, really badly hurting me, and I need to be doing something about it. And I need to be getting better at identity, because I'm not going to be able to stop these tilt spots coming. I'm going to get tilted sometimes. I'm going to get annoyed. Just the nature of these games, they're just going to frustrate me. They're going to frustrate you. They frustrate everybody. And I've just got to get better at identifying that frustration earlier, which I do. In fact, that's what I want to get better at. I want to get better at identifying the frustration earlier. I need to get better at just ending my sessions, because as hard as I try as I might, I identify it coming, like, come on, let's just settle down. But then if something happens within a few minutes, when I'm still elevated, when I'm still like in the red zone of elevation, that's when I'm really prone to making some, and I mean enormous, like really basic, bad reg fish type errors. So I probably just need to get better now at that. Right? If I get, because what normally happens is I get stacked in a way that will annoy me, and then I'll allow that to affect my play going forward for the next however long of that session. The minute I get stacked in a way that annoys me, I'll probably just be better just ending the session, giving myself half an hour, and then going again. Because by then I'll have settled down and what have you. And another thing I need to do is, because a few of these sessions in here where we had somebody I didn't want to play. So some of the bigger sessions is where I'm starting and I don't even want to play to begin with. I'm just like, what the fuck, and I just end up making some mistakes out of not being fucking asked and just like overplaying spots or what have you. So for that, the next few weeks, my focus needs to be on my mental game. My A game beats these games for, I'd imagine, 5, 6 big blinds, 100 pretty comfortably. My B game breaks even. My C game loses, and it loses significantly because my C game is fucking dog shit. So and we need to just make sure that when we're in B game, we need to be very aware that how close we are to dropping into C game. It's very rare I'll go from B game to A game. If I start off playing my A game, I can maintain it and we can put some good sessions together. If I start off playing B game, it's very rare that we're going to move into A game from there, and quite common we move into C game. And if I'm dropping from A game to B game, I need to be aware of that because we're never that far from C game. Once my mental strength during the session starts dropping, it almost never recovers. So these are things I need to be aware of more, just to avoid more of these things. That there, that there, that there, that there. That there. These are all the consistent. That. There's some of them are unavoidable, but they don't need to be. Getting stacked, maybe getting stacked twice, but we don't need to report with getting stacked 2, 3, 4 times. So that's what I'm going to be working on going forward. But overall, it's really hard to beat myself up because for the month we're doing all right. We take this off now and we'll do that. For the month we're up like 1,500. Not for the month, sorry, for the year to date we're up 1,500, and that's accepting that we've ran good, but it's also you got to jump to the balance there, accepting that we've played badly in some spots too. So if I can stop playing badly, if I can get that 15% playing badly down to say 10% or 7.5%, it's going to happen sometimes. It's unavoidable. If I can reduce the amount of time that happens, that will make up for the hopefully, because we're going to the EV line will eventually catch up. Hopefully that when I start running a little bit worse, hopefully I'm playing a bit better, so it's not as damaging. Because if I ever have like a few days or a week where I play bad and I run bad, I could do some serious damage to my wanting to stay in these games. And I do think overall, probably best for me in terms of like making sure I'm putting the amount of work in that I need to put in. I am meant to be like a semi-pro these days, so I need to be putting the hours in. The only place I can put the hours in really is on sites away from Sky. We'll maybe go back and look at Sky more in March when this stupid fucking rate back promotion's off. But hopefully by March I'll be doing much better in these games and just feeling happy with myself that I'm not just going to fucking blow up left and right and undo a lot of hard work, because I am working hard. I'm trying hard. I'm not really doing an awful lot of like direct study by watching people's content and things. But I'm constantly dicking around in my database, constantly thinking about things I'm doing well, things I'm doing not so well. I spend a lot of time thinking about poker. So although I'm not actively studying, as in trying to learn from other people, there is a lot of time going into just analysing my database, seeing which leaks are coming up. And I know what my biggest leaks are at the moment. It's not respecting 3-bets, and it's just being just a little bit too sticky sometimes. Having not respected a 3-bet and then flopping marginal pieces, being too sticky. So most of my leaks are coming around 3-bet and 4-bet spots. I think my single race pot games plenty good enough. I think my 3-bet pot game when I'm the 3-bet is plenty good enough. I think when facing 3-bets or facing 4-bets, that's where I am having problems, and most of them come down to just poor mental game and just being too stubborn or trying too hard to just outplay people when they've usually just got pretty strong ranges. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the live play section. Again, back to Simon, who I slow rolled last night. I mean, I think there's a chance you might watch this because you were in the Facebook group for a while. Genuinely, sir, please accept my sincere apologies. I will slow roll you again. I know you were saying your stream last night. The next chance you get, you're gonna fucking slow roll me. I genuinely, sincerely hope you do, because I love all that shit. I'm a bit of a cunt, and you know, if someone slows me back, I'm genuinely the guys in the Sky Discord will back me up on this. I enjoy it. It's just, you know, it's just part of who I am. I did feel bad though because you were not having a good session and I did that. You know, all to be fair, your session started going worse after that. Maybe I wouldn't have done it if you were like already having a really bad session. But yeah, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, didn't want to upset you as much as it seemed to. So I apologise for that. Please do get me back, and please leave a comment on the video and let me know, like, do you accept my apology or are you just think I'm a cunt? And if you do, fine, I accept that. I'll have no beef with you. I still watch your stream. I still support your stream because I really like it. It's a nice chilled vibe most of the time when you're not getting slowed up by fat cunts. And yeah, I intend to watch more of your streams because I'm playing in the same pool now, and it's interesting to see what your reads are and other people. So if you do watch this, genuinely, please do accept my sincere apologies because um, much as I enjoy having fun, it's not my intention to upset people as much as maybe you got upset last night. So all the best to you, Simon. All the best to the rest of you. Hope you enjoyed the video. I think maybe we'll come back Thursday and just do another GG live play video. Assuming I'm still playing on GG at that point. But maybe not. Maybe we'll just continue to do Monday only videos. I don't know. We'll definitely do one next Monday. Maybe we'll do one on Thursday. Depends how ass I am. But we'll leave it there for now. Take care, everybody. Have a good week. And yeah, stay safe. Bye bye for now, everyone.